Hello students, today we will perform our 10th experiment, that is study of a book calls relay. And before starting to this experiment, let us understand what this relay is. Actually students, for the transformer protection, we install a relay whose name is book calls relay, and this is very important relay as far as its protection is concerned. So we will make you understand with the help of a diagram, because uh, this is available in models, and we will just understand by the help of a circuit diagram. Now in this apparatus required section, we have only a Buchholz relay model, and since it is a model, there is no need of any specification to be written. The quantity required is 1, and apparatus is also, I mean the remark is also not applicable over here. Now we'll directly start with the theory of this relay. The relay are used to cut off the supply promptly to any element of power system which undergoes short circuit or it starts operating abnormally. Relay gives a signal to the circuit breakers for tripping or isolating the faulty system. The circuit breakers used must be of sufficient capacity to carry the fault current momentarily and then interrupt it. So for student, for this circuit breakers, they should have the capacity to deal with this momentarily surge current or this high value of current, because if this will be unable to withstand the high amount of current, then it may cause failure of the system and thereby leading to the failure of the transformer itself. Now, Buchholz relay is a gas actuated relay used for protecting oil immersed transformer winding. Now, as we all know that we have to protect the transformer winding which have the rating usually more than 750 kVA. On those kind of transformer only we use a Buchholz relay. It is usually installed in the pipe connecting the conservator to the main tank. The device has two elements. The upper element consists of a mercury type switch attached to a float. The lower element contains a mercury switch mounted on a hinge type lap located in the direction path of the flow of oil from transformer to the conservator. The upper element closes an alarm circuit during incipient fault. What is incipient fault? It is starting faults or the faults which just begin to start. Incipient fault, whereas the lowest element is arranged to trip the circuit breakers. In case of fault, incipient faults occur within the transformer, the heat is produced. It decomposes some transformer oil in the main tank and hydrogen gas is produced. When the products of decomposition contain more than 70% of hydrogen gas, it tries to go into the conservator through the Buchholz relay. During this process, this gas entrapped in the upper part of the relay chamber, so the upper mercury switch becomes closed and gives an alarm indication. So now we will have the circuit diagram for this relay. As you can see in your screen, it is a Buchholz relay. Now its parts are, the as you can see, there is a release cock just at the top of this relay. There is a float. There are two hinge points which are fixed, of course. There is a mercury switch which is connected to the alarm circuit. There is also a trip circuit, or you can say mercury switch which has been connected to trip circuit. And apart from this, we also have a flap, a test cock, and transformer main tank, the oil from where it has been to intake, and there is a outlet also to conservator. So these are the parts of the Buchholz relay, and what are its function. Suppose students, the oil is entering from in this direction, right? So now what will happen? if there is no fault in this oil, you can say, or there is no fault, then no gas will be formed. As a result, the function will be healthy. But however, if due to heating of the oil or heating of the windings, this transformer oil will get heated up, and if they get heated up, what will they form? They will just try to form some gases, and due to these gases, what will happen? This gas will float, and while floating, they will strike to the flap and the float. So it is exactly over here. Let me show you with the help of the arrow. This is the point where the gas will try to go, and if they reach that point, what will happen? This flap or the this float will rise, and if the float will rise, what will happen? This will close the circuit with the help of the mercury switch, and a alarm will be blown. As a result, we will be aware and we will call for a maintenance. It is for incipient fault, mind you, students, the top ones. And what about for the major faults or very dangerous fault? So, as I have already told, that the oil is entering from left to right, and which is this way, right? So, if this oil is entering in this way with normal rush, then there will be no impact, or this flap, let me just point it out, this flap will be as it is, it will not move from its position. But however, if the oil rushes very fast from the inlet, this flap will bend this way, and if it will bend, the position of this mercury switch will now change to this direction. As a result, the contacts will be closed, and if the contacts are closed, what will happen? It will trip the circuit. As a result, the transformer will be switched off or disconnected to the supply. So this is the basic concept of this Buchholz relay. The procedure is as follows. The Buchholz relay model was dismantled. Then we studied the different parts of the relay, like the float. As you can see, there is a float. Right, this is the float. Now, what else? Flap is there, upper mercury switch and alarm circuit is there, lower mercury switch and trip circuit is there, a release cock and test cock. So in your mind, there shall be one thing, that's why there are release cock and a test cock in this Buchholz relay. Due to whenever, suppose this oil is the transformer is under operation, and we do not have any such permissions to shut it down, but you are the site junior engineer who has to take care of the equipment, that is transformer, and you are also responsible for any shutdown of this electrical equipment. So how to test that the oil is perfect and the transformer will not be under shutdown? So you can test the oil. How to test? By collecting a sample from the test cock, which is located exactly at the bottom. This is the test cock point, from where you can just collect a sample of oil, send it to the you will have to send it to the laboratory, and then they will test its performance. If it is found to be okay, then the transformer will be continued to service. If it is found that the oil is deteriorated, then we have to top up the oil. Now, what about the release cock? Suppose, students, this is the case when the fault current is due to some short circuits. But what happens? But if the short circuit current is very, very, very high, on those cases, when the oil will rush through the left side, right, from the left side, that is from this point, then due to its high pressure, The oil rushes will directly strike to the top, exerting a very high pressure. So what is that point? It is exactly over here, right? So it will exert a very high amount of pressure. As a result, this release cock will open and will result in the shutdown of the transformer. So it is also a protection. So by performing this experiment, we have concluded that Buchholz relay is the simplest form of transformer protection. It detects the incipient faults much easier than other forms of protection. It can only be used with oil immersed transformer equipped with conservator tank. This device can detect fault below oil level in transformer. Therefore, separate protection is needed for connecting cables. Now, generally, Buchholz relays are installed 9.5 degree to the transformer main tank. It is a very important thing which you should remember. The angle is 9.5 degree to the transformer main tank. It is present above the transformer for passing the produced hydrogen gas very quickly. So at last you have to answer this review questions also. So I'll just read it out. You have to answer them in your experiment copy after you complete your experiment. What is the application of Buchholz relay? Write different parts of Buchholz relay. What is the function of flap? What is the function of upper mercury switch? What is the function of lower mercury switch? So that is all for this Buchholz relays experiment. So complete it before time. Thank you students for watching.